Good morning, ladies. Everybody doing all right? Nice. Okay, morning everyone. Chris here. Hope you guys all had a good Thanksgiving holiday this week. Hope you guys are all staying healthy. Set this up here real quick. Came to the toy box. I thought we would do a wash and talk here. Talk about this guy behind me here. That is a new acquisition for myself. Probably see, well, you saw the video if you follow my channel. We are missing some of the ladies here, and this here is the result, sort of. I'll get more into details on that. But real quick, I've been looking at the statistics on my channel. Some like 88 or something like that % of you guys watching this video right now aren't subscribed. If you wouldn't mind, take a moment to consider subscribing, help grow the channel. I would appreciate it. Okay, so I wanted to bring you guys along. I got some buddies coming today to join me in some car detailing, but I wanted to get here a little bit early so I can get some stuff done. But I wanted to show you guys, let me take you off here, this new car that I picked up this weekend, or I'm sorry, last weekend. This is the new facelift. If you're familiar with Mercedes at all, they changed the front end of this car. They changed quite a bit of this car actually. But this is the new 2021 E53 Coupe. Picked this up from Feldman's. They sourced it from, I found it from Sears, and they got it for me. The reason I went with Feldman's over others is just my experience with them over the past 15 years. Been buying cars from them for quite a long time actually, so they've always treated me very well. So I traded all the cars you saw in that last video, the Cayenne, the 911, the Corvette, and right in the corner my motorcycle actually too was part of this, because the motorcycle and the Vet, I didn't have any loan out on them, so I wanted to kind of absolve some of that negative equity that I had in the 911. So all of that got traded for this here car. My debt went from about 280,000 to about not 280. Yeah, about 270 actually. About 270,000 to about 60,000. This is a much cheaper vehicle, but more importantly, I went from 4 car payments to 3. But that's all going to change here. I'll talk about that in a little bit. But for now, let me give you a little walk around of the new E53 Coupe that's joined the stable. It's pretty dirty. I drove it a couple days now. Not too much. I really like this car. I had an E63 sedan several years back, and that thing was sweet. I've always liked the look of the coupes versus the sedans. It's not that big of a car either. It probably kind of looks pretty big on camera, but it's really not. It's set to be tinted and clear wrapped this Wednesday or Thursday. I actually talked to the boys at Solar Shield to come here and do the install, which I think will yield better results, because they have their own shop, in Savage here. But if I walk around like any of these cars that they've done a really outstanding job. But like here, you might not be able to see this on camera. Like, I was able to just quickly find this. See that? There's just a little dust nib. It's nothing I think is very serious, but that stuff happens. I'm not saying this place is sanitary and as clean as a hospital by any means, but maybe not driving it on the road, accumulating dust. Their shop might be dirty. I don't know, but hopefully here we'll get some better results. So I got Solar Shield coming again on Wednesday or Thursday to beautify this. I should say protect this car. So I'm going to beautify it tonight or today. So this is not a fully optioned E53 Coupe. It's missing some things, but it's got like light package and surround view camera. The interior is pretty dang cool on this thing. It's got that new dual screen where the entire dash is basically a screen. I don't got my key on me, I can show you this later, but it's got really cool ambient light throughout. My GLC 63 had that too. Wish it had an Alcantara headliner, but whatevs. So, Burmester high-end audio. I don't know if that's standard or not. Pretty sure it is on these AMGs. So I'm gonna set up this camera and get things rolling for you guys. We'll do a little wash and talk. I'll talk about my reasonings and my plans for the next probably about 6 months. wheels are done. Just use the time-lapse footage for that. Using Adam's megaphone, this stuff really foams up well. You can tell a lot about a car by the way it washes up. I hate washing cars for the first time, to be honest. Only because of the feel of the paint. I don't know if the GoPro picked it up, but I spent maybe 5 minutes just, for example, taking off that Feldman. It's not that I don't want to advertise for them, but taking off that Feldman sticker on the back, because the whole thing's going to be clear brown this week, and I don't want that to be clear brown over. But besides that, you spend a good amount of time on the first wash looking for imperfections and trying to feel things that you don't like about the car. Maybe it's just me, but I can tell a lot about a car by how it cleans up. So let me set this up. I'll foam it up for you guys real quick. Watch how thick this stuff goes on. Just the cast and thickness of it is just awesome. I always put on a pretty thick coat of this foam. I'm going to use Adam's car shampoo for this. Alright, so let's start talking about why I traded specifically those beautiful Porsches, but all 4 vehicles for this. So, as you guys know, I finance a majority of my cars. Eventually I'll end up paying them off, and I either keep them or get rid of them, or whatever, mood I'm in, I guess, for that month. Probably way too frequently, to be honest. That's how I get in trouble, like what I did with the Triple S. It was actually the GT2's fault, but they ended up getting upside down on them. So at some point, it just became too much for me. I make a good living, I work really hard for my money, but living paycheck to paycheck isn't the most fun thing to do, especially when it's over silly things like cars. Different if it was a livelihood. I worked hard for the last couple of years, got my mortgage paid off. I have a second mortgage on the house, so that doesn't really matter. But just all my debt it involves cars. It's really kind of stupid if you think about it. So woke up one day a couple months back, thinking like, man, this kind of sucks to be so tight every single month. I got obligations and kids and things like that just, it adds up. It takes its toll. And so I was thinking, well, why don't I lessen that burden a little bit and get rid of some cars. But knowing me, it all comes full circle. So my thought process is this. So I got rid of the Cayenne, the 911 Turbo S, because I was about $270,000 in debt between those 2 cars. That's a lot of money. It costs more than my first house. And I was fine. Don't get me wrong. I was ahead on my payments for a few months. Like I don't owe on my Challenger, for example, until January. But I stay a couple months ahead on this stuff on purpose, and I pay more than the minimum. So maybe I'm doing it to myself. But this time of year it's always pretty expensive with Christmas. My dad's birthday in November. I got my mom's in December. You know, like I said, Christmas and everything. It just, I feel like insurance premiums are due around this time of year also. And with this whole virus thing, you know, business hasn't really slowed, but it's not getting any better. So we're in the medical industry for our business, and we're very good at what we do. But you know, like many other businesses out there, they've taken a pretty good hit this season or this year because of this virus. Be here real quick. And so, I mean, hopefully we'll all come out of this ahead, but you never know if there's going to be like pay cuts at work or other things that come up that might need, you know, priority over vehicles. I'm rambling here, but so I ended up taking my debt from 270 to about 60,000. So I had positive equity into the Cayenne and into the Corvette and into my motorcycle that I brought into this trade. So this is about an $85,000 MSRP E-Class. Feldman's, of course, discounts it for me because they're the best. But I had negative equity into that 911, like I said. And the purpose for the other two vehicles, meaning the Corvette and the bike, being added in was to absorb some of that negative equity. But anyway, so my debt went from 270 to roughly 60,000. I should be able to pay that off here pretty quick. Like pretty quick, I mean at least get positive equity. I mean I already did positive equity. It seems to work more than 60,000. But at least, you know, I'm not chasing myself, or you know, she's chasing my tail, trying to catch up on things. Which brings me back to a problem that I have, which is Porsche decided to release the 992 911 Turbo S. And that, of course, sparked my interest the moment I saw it. And I told myself, you know, I don't need it. I got this beautiful 991 that I got the best deal in the world. Honestly, like I said it before in a video, but I didn't know Porsche had that much markup. Maybe there's just that many rebates. Maybe the dealership was willing to take that bath on it. But I got something like $40,000 off MSRP on that car, which is, in my opinion, like unheard of, at least locally here. So I was like, I don't need it. I'm just gonna stick with what I got. And then I decided to sell mine for this to lessen my debt for a while. Which, if you guys all know me, that always doesn't last very long. So I've been tossing around the idea of, well, do I just sit on this car because it's such a beautiful car? It's no 911, but you know, it's a nice, very nice car. Or do I found this 69 Camaro built by Ken Diggett Designs for sale in I forget where. But it's a very nice car. It's a very nice build. You know, Ken Diggett, you guys don't know them, they're that TV show on Velocity. They're known for having these crazy builds and their quality. You know, but given my history with these dang classics, I just couldn't do it. So then I agreed to do it. And I went to go finance it, and the dealership, the finance company needed 15 or 20% down. 15 if I had proof of income, 20% if I didn't. And 20% of the agreed purchase price was way too much. I would have had access all my remaining balance of my equity loan, which is the opposite of what I wanted to do. So I ended up bailing on that deal. And I'm rambling here, but basically I ended up talking Porsche into, usually when you order a car, I guess, which is new to me because I've ordered Cayennes in the past, and I've only given, you know, like a small deposit, like $2,500. But Porsche was demanding, they're requesting like a $5,000 down payment, or no, yeah, $5,000 down,
just to get the allocation spot. And then once you order the car, they wanted, I think 20% down, so it would have been almost would have been more than the Camaro. I would have had come up with about 40 grand just as a down payment for this 992 that I haven't told you yet, but I ordered one. So, but I was able to talk them into just taking, you know, 5 grand on a credit card, and the rest I will finance when the car comes in. So I'm not going to give anything away more than I wasn't even going to tell you guys I ordered the 992, but I think it's obvious if you watch my videos. I'm obsessed with 911s and getting rid of my dream 911, not dream color combo, but the Triple S dream car. Obviously, that's not gonna fly for very long. So I did end up ordering one. It'll be here sometime in April or May, which is pretty dang quick, I think. Production starts in March. It's cool when you order a Porsche. If you guys haven't ever done this, when you order one, they give you a link, or they link it to your my Porsche ID. It's the same thing as like a Chrysler's deal, and it's like a profile that you have for your cars. But they link it to that, and then you're able to track the entire build process as it goes. It's very cool, I think. So it says production begins in roughly March, like March 3rd or something like that. And should hit the dealership April 23rd, which is pretty quick, I think. Going over in Stuttgart. Get it here to the States 2 months later. 3 months later, whatever it is. So I'm not going to fill you in on details, but I will let you know that there is a badass 2021 992 Turbo S coming to the PaFur garage stable in April of 2021. It's I spec'd it out, so it's all my options that I would want. Got 911 colors. You know, there's not stupid options. Like I don't need the smokers package. I don't need anything like that. It's just not needed. I'm pretty sure those packages are free anyway, but whatever. I'm excited for that. We'll write this thing down real quick and shut this off. You see a shadow in front of the door, just wanted to use this? Yeah. Snap so you can see. Seeing stuff like crazy. Looks good right here from a distance. Looks good from here. Yeah, it looks real good, but then you make these horizontal surfaces, for example, you get a closer look. Should have brought my flashlight. Alright, you can see it right here. Oh, look at all those swirls. Gross. Oh.
You can definitely see it through the camera.
Yeah, it's probably more so on those horizontal surfaces. Little scratch right there.
There's probably sitting on showroom for a while.
I'm sure it was. Sears always displays their AMGs. See all those? God dang. This is why I clear out my cars, because I hate having to deal with this. I just want to get it perfect and then never have that happen again. I mean, it's probably more on the horizontal surfaces that you'll see it. I mean, there's some, see that? Looks like some acid rain or just some dried up spots. I've always said dealerships aren't in the business to
made cars perfect in the business to sell cars, so they just quickly get them in and get them out as quick as they can. What is that? I see that's in there. Someone tried polishing something out right there. Looks like maybe from the factory. We'll fix that. See all that right there? Try to fix that. I'm just gonna polish this whole thing, I think. Can't tell so much on the vertical. Oh yeah, see a little scratch right there. See? That smudge. Yeah, this is never like seeing that. So I'll set the time lapse real quick and I'll film myself polishing this out. I did a quick pass with just polish and I'm not happy. See all that? So I'm gonna go a little bit more aggressive. I try to do the least aggressive to the most aggressive. So I'm gonna actually just for compounding and hopefully that'll fix it. I think it turned out about as good as it's gonna get. So that's it's about like 94% good. Definitely better. See, it's pretty good. Alright, so that was two-step process at a compound and polish. I did it in the whole car. It should be fun. I didn't think I'd be polishing or compounding and polishing today. But all I have left is the driver's side door and the front fender, plus the little A-pillar here in the mirror. I did that side off camera, but we got King-a-ling, just foaming up the caddy. We got Long and Rush and drying off the bends. Oh shit. Game's about to start, so almost done with the compounding. Then I'm going to turn to polishing. The end result is pretty good. I think this looks pretty dang acceptable. It's not perfect. It's definitely much better. I like it. Then I'm going to probably have to rewash this thing to get some of the compound out of the door jambs and things like that. I don't ever tape off like the emblems and the windows. Is just it's a lot of work. Plus I just clean it out anyway, so proceed. Man, I don't miss doing this. Alright, so that's the compound. That took an hour and a half. It went pretty quick. Yeah, it's a smaller car, but now I'm going to remove it, and then I'll inspect it, and then I'll do a quick polish to it. Probably should have wiped it as I went, but whatever. Alright, so here's the first layer complete. Shoot, I need to do... Oh, I just didn't wipe that off. I need to do the front bumper. I just remembered that. The compound works really well from Adams. So I probably could have and should have done a compound and polish right after. That'll come out. Just a little residue left. But I wanted to compound the whole thing just to kind of see where I'm at. And dang, this thing looks good. Yeah, this is a good looking car. What do you guys think? I mean, again, it's no Cayenne, no 911. It's a good looking car. Alright, I'm gonna get to... This will go a lot quicker, I think, but I'm gonna start the polishing phase now. I like it, it's turning out good.
Dalvin Cook fumbled the ball. Panthers got a touchdown. Started the Vikings' life. Okay, so I'm done polishing. I have to remove it now. I think it'll turn out pretty good. I'll do a walk around once this is done and hopefully highlight some of the areas that we saw before that were there. Hopefully they won't be present anymore. Okay, about almost 3 hours later, I'm gonna wash this thing, but what do you guys think? There's tons of imperfections, sadly, from the dealership. Let's see if I can see this. Remember, there was a pretty good hologram right here. That got removed. There's some swirls all over the mirror. That looks pretty crisp now. Yeah, I'm gonna wash this thing up here. Pizza just got here, but I'm gonna wash this afterwards just to kind of get some of the stuff, and I can see how there's some polish in there. Just to kind of freshen it up, try to get this type of residue off too. This is probably why I should tape, but I don't. So stuff like that, and I'm sure there's some up here, maybe a little bit right there. Stuff like that happens. Pretty hard to avoid that, but I didn't want to spend, you know, half an hour taping this up. It's just something I've never wanted to do. But what do you think? It turned out pretty dang good, if you ask me. This is why I don't polish all the time, because it takes, you know, several hours. I went through this pretty quick too. 3 hours is, I think, very quick to do a correction and polish on an entire car. But it turned out pretty nice. Yeah, it's a good looking car. Okay, we're gonna eat some pizza, move cars around, and little pussy. Look at this interior. I got it set to purple right now, but badass. Alright, let's go park this and dry it off.
Yeah, is that from your car?
It's just from the moisture. Sick vape, man.
Should I blow a sick vape cloud, bro? Blow them outside the bag, dude.
Yeah, it's such a sweet car.
Blowing out flames, dude.
Alright, you want to pull your whip in, long gone?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to dry this thing up and park it. It should be good for clear bra and tint. Okay, well, with the lunch break, I got like 5 hours into this thing right now. So she's ready for Solar Shield later this week. So I'm gonna probably call this video here. I might wash the truck here real quick. Maybe the challenge, or maybe the Viper's down, right? Yeah, Viper's down. So I'm gonna end this video here. Hopefully you guys like the E53. It's no Porsche or 911 or anything like that, but it gets me to Wu-Tang action. But it gets me to one step closer towards that 992 that I told you all I ordered. I'm not going to give you guys too many details. Leave that up for a surprise. It's going to be, again, probably late April before that guy comes in. So in the meantime, I'm just going to pay down some debt, drive some cars, and wait for springtime to get here. So as always, I appreciate you guys watching. Stay tuned for more videos. Thanks.